Now, it is my distinct honor to introduce our president-elect. Many of you already know him. Bob Methvin practices in Birmingham and has been on the Bar Commission for a number of years. He was also the Young Lawyers President right before me. So we kind of switched order in this one, but he has served as the Young Lawyers President, and he has a servant heart. So you will see that his leadership during this pandemic and during these unprecedented times will certainly come through. Congratulations, Bob Methvin. The podium is yours.
Incoming President Bob Methvin, will you and your family please join us here at the podium? And why does the family move around here for a picture on this side? And Bob, if you would please raise your right hand. Okay. And repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Robert Gordon Methvin, Jr.,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Alabama,
and the Constitution of the State of Alabama,
so long as I continue a citizen thereof,
so long as I continue a citizen thereof,
and that I will honor the courts of Alabama
and that I will honor the courts of Alabama
and the legal profession and the citizens they serve.
and the legal profession and the citizens they serve.
I will strive to improve the law
I will strive to improve the law
and make our legal system available to all,
and make our legal system available to all,
and that I will honestly discharge the duties
and that I will honestly discharge the duties
of the office of President of the Alabama State Bar,
of the office of the President of the Alabama State Bar,
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, President Methvin.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am humbled and honored to be the 145th President of the Alabama State Bar. Thank you, Chief Justice Parker, and all of the Associate Justices for allowing us to have our grand convocation here today on the 200th anniversary of the Alabama Supreme Court. We have had a great working relationship over the past few years, and Chief, I promise you I'm going to do everything I can to make sure we keep that great relationship. So thank you for all you do for the State Bar. Every single year for over 140 years, including a Great Depression and 2 World Wars, we have had an in-person annual meeting, except for this year. So if I accomplish nothing else, I can at least say that I was the first and hopefully the only president to be inducted at a virtual annual meeting. The irony of this statement is not lost on those who are very familiar with my lack of tech skills. In fact, last night when I was up at the office finishing my speech, I realized on my laptop I don't know how to save anything. So I called Kate, my high school daughter, and said, "Hey, Kate, what do I need to do?" She gave me instructions and said, "Dad, here's how you save it, but if you don't save it right and you close and you shut down your computer, you're going to lose everything." And I was like, "Well, that's not good." So what I did was I took my laptop and I never closed it. I took it out to my truck and I stuck it on the floorboard of my truck and I drove home very carefully, make sure it didn't get knocked around. And I got in and, "Well, where's Kate?" So I got Kate. She came in and she saved it and then she actually printed it for me, which I couldn't do either. But so that's what kind of tech person I am. So those of you who know me well know that I tend to laugh a lot. And I love a good party. And I really miss the camaraderie and the social events that we have come to enjoy at every annual meeting. I really hate that my whole family and my extended family couldn't all be together at Sandestin this year. But my whole family looks forward to all of us getting together next year at the Grand Hotel. There's so many people I want to thank and recognize, and I'm going to start with my wonderful family. I really could not be here without them, but right now we're down one. Hope, my oldest daughter, unfortunately is quarantined with coronavirus, but I've not been around her, so nobody freak out. She has mild symptoms and is on the road to recovery, but unfortunately she couldn't be here. First person I want to talk about is my incredible wife, Lee, who y'all just saw up here. She has the toughest job of all of us, and she manages our family and our 3 daughters and makes sure that all of our daughters and I have everything we need. She started the summer break many months ago on March 13th, and so I guarantee you she's ready for all 3 kids to get back to school. But she absolutely hates the spotlight, and so the only thing I'll say is, Lee, thank you so much for always standing by me and for everything you do for our family. My oldest daughter, Hope, I just mentioned, just finished her freshman year at Alabama. And she did not envision her second semester of her freshman year coming back from Tuscaloosa to live at home in Birmingham with her parents. But she missed all the spring parties, which she hated, but she's handled all that with grace. My middle daughter, Kate, who I've mentioned is a rising junior in high school. She spent her time off working on her culinary skills and her artwork. And last season, her soccer season got cut way too short, so she's looking forward to getting back and playing soccer. My youngest daughter, Lane, who's also here, is a rising 6th grader and is now a TikTok video expert during the pandemic. I've tried to make sure that I'm not in any of those that go viral, but there are probably some out there. I know she's ready to get back to playing basketball and soccer. And I never thought I'd hear Kate and Lane say this, but they actually miss school. And they want to get back so they can see their teachers and their friends on a regular basis. And so hopefully that's going to happen this year. Next is my dad, Big Bob. He's 82 years old, and he's in Mobile watching us right now. So Dad, thank you so much for all you've done to get me where I am today. You taught me so much about integrity and character, as well as the importance of a great work ethic and the value of seeing someone else's opinion. No matter how busy you were, you always made time for our family, and I truly would not be here today if you had not been such a great disciplinarian and a strong disciplinarian. Thanks for never giving up on me. Next is my mother, Claudia. She is one of the best people to ever walk this earth, period. She was a teacher for 40 years and a superstar mother to boot. I've worked hard to pass on to my daughters the values that she instilled in me. She taught me to always look for the good in other people, but she also taught me to always help the less fortunate. Whenever she went to help people, she never talked about it, but she always put her kids in the car and she took us with her. She truly led by example. Most importantly, she taught me that I was no better than any other person in the eyes of the Lord. All human beings have value. And that message seems particularly relevant today. She's in heaven right now, smiling down upon us. Probably not real sure how I got here, but very proud nonetheless. My sister Lindsay and my brother Tom are here today. Our parents did something right because we're so close. This may be because no one else can stand to be around us, but we remain close nonetheless. Lindsay lives in Mobile and is a wonderful mother to her 3 daughters and is also a poet, an author, and an artist. Tom is a lawyer in Montgomery and is also past president of the Alabama State Bar. So as best we can tell, we're the only brother Alabama State Bar presidents in history. Fortunately for me, Tom set the bar for achievement awfully low. So I shouldn't have any problem exceeding every single thing he did. But seriously, Tom got a lot done during his tenure, and I hope that I can do the same. Most of you in this room know that I absolutely love lawyers, and I come from generations of lawyers and judges on both sides of my family. and that the practice of law is in my blood. I'm very proud to have my two nephews, Slade Methvin and Rucker Methvin, are rising third years at Cumberland, and my niece, Mary Lindsay Hanahan, is practicing law in Nashville. I'm also fortunate to have really great in-laws. Foster and Martha Walker are wonderful people and have always supported me in everything I've done. I'm truly blessed, and I'm a better person by having them in my family. I'm not going to bore y'all with a list of family and extended family that would be here today if we're all together in Sandestin, but I'm hopeful that they'll all be there when we're together next year at the Grand Hotel. Next is my law firm family. Thank you guys for all the help and support y'all have given me so far, and thank you in advance for everything you're going to do work-wise for me when I can't be there next year. We're a very tight-knit group of 8 lawyers, and I've already gone off script a little bit, and the reason I've done that is so I can see their faces, because it always freaks them out when I say something they don't know I'm going to say. So I appreciate all you guys and everything that y'all do for me. Christy Crow is an absolute rock star and was totally amazing as a bar president. You have an incredible amount of energy, but you also have great temperament and great judgment. And I always tell my kids, you never stop learning, and I learned so much from just watching her work last year. I was sitting there thinking, you know, Christy, I wouldn't make that decision. That ain't gonna work. And then, of course, about a month later, it would be proved that she was right and I was wrong. So I've learned a ton from Christy, and I understand I have very huge shoes to fill, and I'll do my best. Philip and Roman and the bar staff, thank y'all for everything, and I look forward to working with y'all this year. And to all my friends on the Bar Commission, it has been one of the highlights of my legal career for the last 8 years to be able to spend time with all of y'all on the Bar Commission. I'm going to need your support and guidance this year, but I'm also looking forward to working with all of you. So thank you for everything. Last July 20th, when I delivered my remarks as president-elect, I had no idea of the changes that would transpire in the world. We are now in the midst of a pandemic and social unrest. As a result of these monumental changes, my goals have changed, and I now have 3 major initiatives. The first is unity. The second is helping lawyers adapt to a new norm. And the third is lawyer public relations. First, I want to discuss unity. We should seek to unify as a state and as a nation. So the question is, what are we as a State Bar Association going to do about it? I certainly don't have all the answers, but my answer, at least for now, is we're going to seek to unify through diversity. We as lawyers stand for justice and fairness, and we stand against those who seek to tear down the rule of law. Brian Stevenson, when he spoke to us last year, made us all proud as he detailed his quest to remedy injustices of the wrongly accused. Racism, inequality, and unfairness have absolutely no place in our justice system. These misguided concepts are an affront to human dignity, and they are counter to the mission of the Alabama State Bar. We're watching history unfold before our very eyes, and we, the lawyers of the Alabama State Bar Association, are going to do everything we can to be on the right side of history. Mahatma Gandhi, a leader who mobilized international change, said, "Our ability to reach unity and diversity will be the beauty and the test of our civilization." With lawyers throughout history being agents for positive change, it's not surprising that Gandhi was also a lawyer. We as a State Bar Association will do at least 2 things in our attempt to unify through diversity. First, we're going to put a lawyer in every classroom to talk about a number of topics, including unity, diversity, inclusion, and tolerance, as well as the importance of the rule of law, peaceful protest, and peaceful conflict resolution. Next, I am appointing a Presidential Council on Unity and Diversity. This group will provide guidance to our Executive Council on these issues. Cassandra Adams from Birmingham, Hillary Armstrong from Montgomery, and Ricardo Woods from Mobile will be the 3 members of this council. They will work with our existing Diversity and Inclusion Task Force to make appropriate recommendations for action. I echo the comments of Philip McCallum, our Executive Director, in the most recent State Bar message. The Alabama State Bar stands in solidarity with our members of color, and we add our collective voice with all who demand justice and an end to the use of excessive force. My goal this year for the State Bar is for us to engage, for us to listen, for us to learn, and for us to grow better together. My second initiative will be helping lawyers adapt to a new norm. We as a profession are facing struggles just like many other sectors of the economy. Change is here to stay for a while, folks. There will be no jury trials until at least September. Hopefully, we can have them in September. Lawyers and judges are trying to get used to Zoom hearings. In-person contact has been severely restricted with our clients and with each other. The traditional way that we have grown accustomed to practicing law has been turned on its head. However, the great thing about the legal profession is that we know how to adapt to change. We as a profession will improvise, we will adapt, and we will persevere. Continuing education will continue to be a focus this year as we learn to adapt to this new norm. We'll continue providing CLEs on technology, especially with regard to working remotely, and we will also continue CLEs on attorney wellness. Importantly, in an attempt to help those struggling financially, we will have 12 hours of free CLE online so that lawyers can get their requirement this year free of charge. I will also reappoint the COVID-19 Bench and Bar Task Force, which was originally appointed by Christie. This task force was made up of lawyers, trial judges, and Supreme Court justices. We worked very quickly to come up with best practices for many issues presented by the pandemic. I look forward to working with them again as we try to ensure that jury trials can proceed in the most safe and effective manner throughout the state. I will also appoint a COVID-19 task force, which is made up of only lawyers. This task force will reach out to lawyers all across the state in an attempt to identify issues that are important to lawyers. They will develop best practices and solutions to these issues. Gene Rosardi, Clay Martin, and Tom Perry will be co-chairs of this task force, and I expect them to be very, very busy and very productive as well. The third initiative is something I'm very passionate about, is what I call lawyer public relations. We will continue to seek to improve the image of lawyers by highlighting the great deeds that lawyers do every single day. There are 3 main areas we're going to talk about. First, we're going to highlight the fact that virtually every corporate, charitable, and school board in this state has at least one lawyer on it. Lawyers are in leadership positions in pretty much every religious organization in this state. We are involved as coaches and leaders in youth sports and youth organizations. So the question is, why is that? And the answer is because lawyers render service, which is our motto, and lawyers like to give back to our communities and our state as a whole. We are sought by these organizations because we are trained to lead and because we have a unique skill set that is designed to solve problems. In my opinion, lawyers give back more than any other profession in this state. Second, we've hired Dr. Sam Addy at the University of Alabama to conduct an economic impact report on the legal profession. We expect this report to show that the legal profession is one of the largest economic engines in the entire state and that we contribute billions of dollars every single year to the Alabama economy. Third is pro bono. My heart is right, and this is where it comes from my mother, and also this was a big initiative for my brother back when he was bar president. We'll be highlighting the fact that lawyers donate millions of dollars each year in their time in the form of pro bono legal services. I'm also appointing 2 new pro bono task forces. The first will be called Helping Heroes in Healthcare. We'll be providing free legal work to our frontline medical responders and personnel who have given so much to our state during this pandemic. The second pro bono task force is called Lawyer Voices for Survivors, which is our anti-human trafficking task force. LaBella McCallum is very passionate about this issue, and she's agreed to chair this task force this year. They will provide free legal services to survivors of human trafficking. Many people are not aware that human trafficking has become a huge problem in the state of Alabama. And so we as a state bar association will do our part to educate the public and to help those survivors. In addition to these 3 initiatives, we're going to continue to focus on attorney wellness, especially as we adapt to this new norm. We as lawyers are so concerned about taking care of others that we often forget to take care of ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves both mentally and physically so that we can then take care of our clients and better serve the public. In conclusion, there are many challenges that lie ahead of us this year. We will meet these challenges head on. We will prevail, and our bar association will be stronger as a result. I consider myself to be very blessed to be a member of the greatest profession in this country, and I'm humbled by the trust you have placed in me as bar president. I look forward to serving all of you as the 145th president of the Alabama State Bar. Thank you. Thank you as well, Chief. I want to thank our gold sponsors this year, LawPay and AIM, Attorneys Insurance Mutual of the South. I also want to thank our silver sponsors, Clio and Veritext, and our bronze sponsors this year, the ABA Retirement Fund, the Alabama Association for Justice, and Fast Case. We'd also like to thank ISI and Bill Bass for this year's grand prize. I think we're ready for the drawing. All right. Philip McCallum. Paul Pinion is our winner this year. All right, I want to put a plug in for our next annual meeting, 2021, from July 13th through the 19th at the Grand Hotel in Point Clear. So hopefully we'll all be there together next year. So my first official act as bar president is to adjourn the first and hopefully the only virtual annual meeting. So everyone, thank you for being here, and please travel safely.